Hi, so welcome to section 6, video 29, and in this video we're going to be covering which websites you want links from and backlink checks. So I'm going to be taking you to SEMrush very shortly to show you how you can check the backlink analytics of a particular website. But before we get to that point, it's worth trying to identify or have some checks in place to say which websites we want to be trying to target, i.e. which websites do we ideally want our website to get a link from. So the 5 checks that I would encourage you to run through yourself are the following. So these are the websites you want link from. First check is, does the website have a domain authority over 25? The reason for this is, as I've mentioned in a previous video, if the domain authority of a website is high, it means you're going to get more link juice from that website if they link to you. Therefore, this is going to have the biggest impact on your SEO performance, and you should hopefully see a boost in your rankings from that website. So that's the first check, is the domain authority over 25? If it isn't over 25, not the end of the world. A link is better than no link, but ideally, yes, you do want to see domain authority over 25. Websites that are really high, so have domain authorities in the 90s, are absolute gold, and they will have a dramatic impact on your SEO performance. Second check, how many different keywords does the website rank for? Ideally, you're looking for at least 100, and this is just because it shows that this website is already doing well in organic search results. It's already got a lot of traffic coming from organic search results. Therefore, yes, it's going to be beneficial for you to have a link from that website. Tying in with this, you want the target website to have at least 200 monthly organic visitors. This just means you're going to get more bang for your buck. You're going to get more people visiting your websites from that particular link, and therefore it is more valuable. Fourth check, at least 50 referring domains. Now, the reason for this is a website in theory could have a lot of backlinks, but actually could only be referred to by 1 or 2 websites. So just by spreading the number of referring domains that website is getting, it means that that website is actually more valuable, and the webmaster hasn't tried to game the system and just try and get links artificially. If they're getting at least 50 referring domains, it suggests they're getting links naturally, and therefore the website is of real value, and therefore by getting a link from that website, you too are going to get value from that website. And then the final check, which almost seems a juxtaposition of what I just said, is you don't want a website linking to too many other websites, as this will dilute any link juice that's passed on. So I'm now going to take you to SEMrush to show you how you can check against these 5 items here based on a couple of websites which are very different in makeup. So without further ado, let's jump to SEMrush. Alright, so as you can see, we're now in SEMrush, and I'm just going to show you a couple of websites to demonstrate how you can check for these backlinks and check the backlink analytics. So the first website we're going to use is Forbes, just because we used them in a previous video. So I'm going to take the URL right now and just copy it into SEMrush. So Forbes.com. If I go back to SEMrush, the tool we're going to use is the backlink analytics right here. So it's going to take you to this section, and I'm going to paste in Forbes.com once it loads into the URL here. So post that in there, and it's then going to analyze. So it's going to look at all of the analytic data of Forbes' backlinks, and it's going to show us here in SEMrush. So a few things to note here. We can see that Forbes has 1.1 million referring domains, which is comfortably over our 50. So that's good to see. In terms of these backlinks, which we'll go into more detail, 379 million, which is insane. 145 million monthly visits organically. Again, that's comfortably more than 200 that we wanted in our check, and 34.4 million keywords it is ranking for. This authority score is just a metric that SEMrush uses, and it suggests that its authority is 87. I take this as a proxy for domain authority, and domain authority being that all-encompassing metric which captures your SEO performance. So authority score 87, almost a proxy for domain authority 87. So yeah, obviously very high. So just to go to these backlinks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this number here, and this will take us to the backlinks so we can analyze them in a bit more detail. So it has a few things here. So number of follow links, 83%, which is really strong. No follow links, 17%. And we can actually filter for these. So the first filter I'm going to do is actually just the links per referring domain. We just want 1. So just going to show this rather than all the links that we're getting, just to kind of narrow down this list. So you can see it's now down to 60,573. We're also going to look at just the follow links, and this should see this number reduce even further. So yeah, we're now down to just under 50,000, and we can then start checking this. So the fact it already has just under 50,000 backlinks that are follow is a really good sign. If we were wanting to try and get a link from Forbes, and if we were to scroll down, we can see all the different types of websites that are linking to Forbes and where they're linking from. So here we've got a link from Adidas, which is linking to this particular Forbes article, which is talking about a type of training shoe. We also have a link from Google Finance, and yeah, just a bunch of different websites here, which you kind of would expect. Forbes is such a huge magazine publication that is full of information about a broad range of topics. So you would expect it to have a lot of referring domains, a lot of backlinks, and that's exactly what we see. So if we go back to our checks, its domain authority over 25. Yes, the authority score is 89. Take that as a proxy. Does it have 200 monthly organic visitors? It does. It was closer to, I can't remember how many millions it was, but it was a lot. How many referring domains does it have? Is it over 50? Yes, comfortably over 50, 1.1 million. And the other important check, how many organic keywords is it ranking for? You can see here 34.4 million, so comfortably over that 100 mark. So if we were to get a link from Forbes, it would be really good, providing it was relevant to our website. So the next website I'm going to look at is completely different, and that is Flanagan's. So this is a local hairdresser of mine, and the reason I wanted to use this is because I suspect, I haven't actually checked this, but I suspect its metrics look a lot different to Forbes. So here we go, flanagan'sbarbers.com. It's actually a really good barbers, and I don't think this is going to do it justice looking at its website's performance. So looking immediately here at this top row of numbers, authority score, only 15, so that is below our target of 20 as a domain authority, and authority being the proxy here, authority score being the proxy. In terms of referring domains, this is actually higher than 50, which is a good thing. So it is 79. Monthly visits, also above 200, so that's also good to see. And then in terms of keywords, it is ranking organically for 211. So as you can see, this website's actually doing really well on a lot of the metrics, apart from the authority score, where it is slightly below 20, but not the end of the world. If we were to then go in a bit more detail, look at these backlinks, just to see what they look like, how good they are, do they have a high domain authority, that sort of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to filter, so just looking at the referring domains rather than all the links. We're also going to look at just the follow. And actually just to note up here as well, in terms of those follow links, we can see it's only 26%, so 89 of the total links are follow links. The others are, no follow links, 258. So that's worth noting. Okay, so then looking at these individual links then, so we've got a link from saloonsdirect.com, authority there 42, flanagan'sbarbers.co.uk, so that's just simply basically the same business, but it's a different extension on the end, meaning that it's targeting a different country. So yeah, that you can basically ignore that one. Reader's Digest, so here that's actually quite a good link. Only domain authority score here of 15, but actually Reader's Digest I'd suggest has probably quite a high domain authority, so I'd want to check that one. And then there's a few other bits and pieces as well. Scrolling down, you can see a lot of these pages and a lot of these links have quite a low authority, so potentially not the best links in the world. And you can see here this one's really random. I suspect that's, it says it's a forum. I'm guessing that's Russian as well, the language, so it might not be the greatest link in the world. A few of these other ones as well look a little bit random, like this one. Don't think that looks particularly good either. But you get the idea. So if we were to try and get a link from this particular website, ignoring the fact that it's to do with barbers, so we're not, we wouldn't necessarily want to get a link from this website, but let's say this was representative of a website that we did want to get a link from, would we want to try and target it? Well, like I say, it has a lot of things going for it. Already has 79 referring domains, has a lot of backlinks, good number of monthly visits, a lot of good keywords it's ranking for. We haven't actually checked those. We can check those in a bit more detail just to see where those keywords are coming from. So if I jump into SEMrush and show this in a bit more detail, we could actually see, if I go back to that page, it does actually give us a bit of a breakdown in terms of country. So getting 108 from the United Kingdom, 32 from America, 14 from the UK on mobile, Australia, Canada, etc. So all of these keywords they're not ranking for all these keywords in the UK or the US. It's kind of a combination of different countries. Nonetheless, if I look at these keywords in a bit more breakdown, looking just at the UK, so actually if we're looking at just the UK keywords, that number is only just above 100, so 108. So still, it does kind of meet the check, but obviously not as impressive. And actually, if we look at these keywords in a bit more detail, this is why it can be important to do a deeper dive. What we'll see is actually a lot of these keywords are just branded keywords. Flanagan's Barbers, Flanagan's Barber, Flanagan's Barbers, ranking for those which you'd expect being branded keywords. But it does have a nice combination of different keywords relating to barbers. So Barbers Disbury, Barbers Altrincham, etc. So all in all, yeah, you'd want to obviously look in a bit more detail at these keywords, but I would say this website would be good to get a link from as well. So I hope you found this video useful. And in the next video, we're going to actually start looking at some backlinking strategies. See you there.